Gaffer, has there been a bounce in the step this week after another positive performance and win on Tuesday night?
Yes and no. I think in the dressing room straight after the game, there was that's the feeling that you want, particularly in the big game against a good opponent. But really, straight after the game for the staff and then the next day's training, it's back to work, and we've got a big game this weekend, Shrewsbury, and it's not the time for too many pats on the back.
And how has the squad come through Tuesday night's game? Is everyone fit?
Everyone seems okay at the moment. We'll find out on Scott Smith's concussion probably tomorrow. Johnny Smith's been ill for a period of time. He's actually had a longer one, so he managed to train the day after Oxford. So no, we're looking okay. On maybe the longer ones, Jason Kerr got 45 minutes for the reserves, which is brilliant news, which was the same day as Oxford match. And Matt Smith's still a period of time away.
Just a word in terms of person who played on a Tuesday night. A word on Liam Shaw. Did his presence, along with Babber in there, give us a real balance in midfield?
Yeah, it did. For that particular game, it really did. I think Liam's been incredibly patient. He's shown the perfect sort of mentality or attitude. Look, he's had to fight to get in this team. He's had to fight to get in the squad. I know there was a period of time that he missed without doing a pre-season, but since then we had Baba playing very, very well, Matt Smith before his injury, and Scotty Smith, so they're all fighting for a position. But Liam came in and did very well in that game, and now you have to reward performances like that at times. But I thought Scotty Smith was excellent at Exeter. He put his body on the line, played exactly the way that the team needed him, and just missed the Oxford game because of concussion. So between the three of them at the moment, they're working very hard and they're fighting for a position, and that's what we want.
Another person you said who's fighting for the position and has done in recent weeks is Jordan Jones, and not just going for, but defensively on Tuesday night, he was very good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a good game. But again, it's similar with the squad and also with Liam. We have to go again this weekend. I think Jordan is another one that's worked extremely hard, had ups and downs at the club. But all I asked of him this season was to come back with a clean slate and really fight for a position. And I think he had a really positive impact even without his goal against Exeter. He was brilliant against Fleetwood in that position. But I think he can play in really many positions. So even in the game this weekend, I could see him in a different one or in something very similar to what he's done. But he needs to keep fighting. He needs to keep playing at that level. But for him, it was a really positive night again against Oxford.
With the likes of obviously Lange and Wyke back from suspension as well, it must be difficult to make changes given the last two performances.
Yeah, and Tom Pearce as well. So Tom had a good game at Exeter and a very different type of game where we had to defend a lot. It makes it hard. I think that's where I have to take into consideration how people train, the mentality that they have when maybe they don't play, what they bring to the group. But these players that you mentioned, maybe they were left out of the squad. They might be needed this weekend. They might be the next game. Whoever the player is, they have to show the same mentality, whether they're playing every single minute or whether they're fighting to get a place back in the squad.
Just on Shrewsbury, what challenge or different challenge will they bring to what Oxford brought?
They play a different system, or they might do. I think we have to prepare for both. I think that's something we're learning this season. They've got good players. As I'm finding in this division, lots of teams can do both things. Shrewsbury, if we give them time, they can play through us. I know their midfielder, Noah Kenna, on loan from Hibs. He's a good player, very, very good in the tackle as well. So they can do everything, really. If they go longer, they can hurt you. They're a good side. I really like their mentality. Before the Barnsley game, they'd had a good run of results against some big teams in our league. So for me, we have to be ready for just as big a fight as we had at Exeter and Oxford to try and win this game.
You touched it then, they obviously come into this one on the back of a defeat to Barnsley, but prior to that beat Derby, big win. So we know against the bigger teams or against any team they can turn up and cause us problems if we're not on it.
Yeah, I think, I think I said this before, there was parts of performances in the games where we'd lost where I still saw a team growing, or I still felt like there was progression in certain areas. We still have to have the mentality that we had going into Exeter in every single game. We had it against Oxford. Oxford are a good side. They played very well the first sort of 30 minutes. but we have to have a big desire to win this game. We start from zero, and it's up to us to try and take the game away from the opponents. We've got to respect them, and that's every game. Because if we don't, any opponent in this league can hurt us, and that's a big challenge for us as staff and players. We have to be ready to win the fight first, and then show the talent later.